Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Roxanne with Baker's Acres Homestead, and I've been in the kitchen canning and preserving and just putting food away and stuff and preparing it for processing and stuff the last couple of days. And I just thought I'd take you guys along today as I can some green beans and chicken bone broth. So my chicken bone broth I have over here in my Instant Pot, and it is still cooling and releasing pressure in order for me to open the lid. I like to do my bone broth in the Instant Pot because with chicken it only takes 2 hours to finish, and if you do beef or like pork bones, you just double that time to 4 hours, which is a lot quicker than doing it on the stove or in a crock pot, which takes a couple of days to completely finish. So I like doing it that way because it's just quicker and easier and less time consuming. And then over here I have my green beans in this pot here, waiting to be cooked down and blanched. With my green beans, I like to hot pack them. That's just the way that I prefer to do it. You could raw pack them as well, which is just you put the green beans into your jars raw, and then you pour boiling water into the jars over the top of them. But what I like to do is I like to hot pack them, and that just means you go ahead and blanch them and cook them down a bit, and then they're hot when you put them into the jars, and then you just pour the water that you cooked them in into the jars with them. So anyways, yeah, I'm getting ready to can the bone broth as soon as it cools off enough that I can open the lid, and then when the green beans are done, I can go ahead and get ready to can them. And I am canning both of them in my pressure canner. This is a double stack canner, so you could actually stack cans. It's deep enough to stack 2 stacks of cans on top of each other. But this is my pressure canner. I've got the water in there at the level that it needs to be already to build the steam to put the pressure in there. And I just wanted to share with you guys like the reasons why you pressure can some foods, and some foods you can water bath can in a water bath canner. So foods naturally have microorganisms, which microorganisms are around everywhere, just naturally there. And foods have microorganisms, which is not a problem unless food sits out for a while and then it begins to spoil. And that's just nature's way of letting us know that that food's no longer good to eat. But, so there are 4 different agents that cause this, or 4, basic agents that cause this food spoilage. And that's mold, yeast, enzymes, and bacteria. So in a water bath canner, the temperature in a water bath canner can get to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the point of boiling water. And at that temperature, mold, yeast, and enzymes can be killed. The bacteria cannot be killed at that temperature unless there is a high enough percentage of acid in your food. At that temperature, the acid can kill the bacteria. So like tomatoes, or like if you're pickling something and you add acid like vinegar to your pickles or whatever you're pickling, or most fruits, they have a high enough acid percentage that they can be water bath canned, and at that temperature it will kill the mold, yeast, enzymes, and the bacteria with the acid in there. It can kill the bacteria at that temperature. But lower acidic foods like meats or broth or like your green beans or, you know, things like that that don't have a lot of acid in them. 212 degrees Fahrenheit in a water bath canner will not kill that bacteria. It has to get up to 240 degrees Fahrenheit in order to kill that bacteria. And the only way to get it to that high of a temperature is to water bath can. I mean, not water bath can, excuse me, pressure can. A pressure canner will get it to that high enough temperature that it will kill that bacteria. So the bacteria, Clostridium botulinum, it produces a spore that causes poisonous toxins, which cause botulism. And in a water bath canner at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, it cannot kill those spores. And so that will cause your food to spoil. And in low acidic foods, that spore feeds on low acidic foods in the absence of air. So in order to kill that bacteria, it is necessary to pressure can low acidic foods so that it gets to the high enough temperature that that bacteria can be killed. Okay, so I've got my green beans going behind me right here, and they're almost ready. And my bone broth in the Instant Pot, the pressure is about released, and so it'll be ready to go in the jars. And so now what I am doing is I am sterilizing my jars and my rings, and that just entails soap and hot water, which our hot water out of the tap gets very, very hot, so it'll sterilize them good. So I've got those in there. I've already finished some over here that are ready for things to go into. And so, yeah, we're getting ready for the canning process, and it's almost ready to get everything put into the can so they can go into the canner. So this is just the next step that I'm doing. I got stuff ready and almost done, almost ready to go into the jars, and so now I'm preparing my jars to be ready to put the green beans and the broth into. Alright, I got my green beans in the jars and put the water in over the top of them. Left about a 1/2 inch headspace to build this pressure for expansion as they can in the pressure canner. And I wiped the rims off with a clean cloth and checked the rims for any nicks or stuff. I actually had some green beans in these 2 jars, but then as I was wiping the rims, I noticed that they had some nicks in them, so I had to switch them over to some other jars. So these are ready for lids and rings and ready to go into the canner. And then I will start putting my bone broth into some jars. Okay, I got my bone broth in the cans and the green beans in the cans, and now they are in the canner here, starting to process. Right now I am just waiting for a, can you see this vent pipe right here? I'm waiting for a steady flow of steam to start coming out of that, and I will let that go for 10 minutes, and then I will put the pressure regulator over the top of the vent pipe, and that will start building the pressure in the canner. And once it reaches 10 psi's, which is pounds per square inches of pressure in the canner, then I will start my timer for 25 minutes and let it go at 10 psi for 25 minutes in the canner, and then I will turn the heat off and remove it from the heat and let it cool, which will take about 45 minutes for the pressure to completely release out of the canner before I can open the lid. So that's where we're at right now, guys. I got the regulator on after it steamed for 10 minutes, and now the pressure is rising almost to 5 psi. Once it reaches 10 psi, then I can start my timer for 25 minutes. Okay, the canning's done. 25 minutes are up. I have turned the heat off and moved the canner over to a cool burner, and I'm just waiting for it to cool and release all the pressure so I can open it and take my cans out and set them on the table so that they can start cooling. Okay, so we are down in my basement now because I forgot to share with you guys my finished canned green beans and bone broth before I put them away. So they all came out of the canner, canned, great, no problems, no issues, and they all sealed. After they sat and cooled, all the lids popped down and were sealed. So I just came down here to show you on my shelf. Here we have some of my green beans here and back there, and a smaller one here, and then the bone broth here and back there that were canned, along with some of my other stuff that I have canned as well down here. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I forgot to show you that before I put them all away. And I just wanted to say thanks for stopping by, and God bless until next time.